Hey there, it's Ben from Pattern Profits bringing you the weekend update and weekly watch list for the week of May 23rd. First, we're going to take a look at the IWO anchored VWAP from off of that recent low, holding as support late last week. You're into 1020 cloud there. Interesting divergence here in that small cap growth, not making new lows like the Qs and the S&P did on Friday. So something to keep an eye on this week. If we look at FFTY, same situation here, not making new lows. However, that anchored VWAP off of that recent low acting as resistance both Thursday and Friday capped the upside. You're into 1020 cloud there as well. And then the other one we like to look at is PDP, and the momentum ETF kind of closed right at anchored VWAP there into 1020 cloud, 73.30, that level above. But same thing here. Small cap growth, momentum not making a new low when the Qs and the S&P are. So worth keeping an eye on early next week. Getting into our watch list, Lilly, little cup with handle pattern here. Well, cup pattern, high handle, retested that cup breakout to 83.90 several times there. That held. Looks like it's starting to make the turn back up the right side here. Getting tight there with 10, 20, 50, 65 cloud. Nice bounce there. Reclaim that anchored VWAP from off the most recent high on Friday. Now, see if it can come through there. 309.44 pivot above, and then 314 the high. But this group really looks good. The one setting up even better, in my opinion, Pfizer. Merck the leader, MRK, but Pfizer, descending trend line here. You're right up against anchored VWAP from off of the high. 1020 cloud went green, 5065 cloud made the turn, went blue, back above year to date anchored VWAP there. Came right up against anchored VWAP from off of the high, multiple pocket pivots on the way up. This descending trend line, if you do push through anchored VWAP, need to push through there as well. Wouldn't mind seeing that happen on big volume. If I were to bring volume by price over a little bit closer, you'll see how that volume shelf point of control there building out just above 2. So it needs to push through there on big volume, get through that descending trend line as well as that volume shelf point of control just above. So Pfizer, one to keep on the radar. Last couple weeks, we had Pilgrim's Pride on our watch list and did push through that 29.18 pivot, came through that descending trend line, had a nice little run, but didn't last very long, came right back in. Looks like retesting that pivot now with 1020 cloud just below. We'll see if here we can get a successful retest on PPC. See this make the turn. Did have good volume on the breakout, really eased up last week as it did come in. So we'll see if it decides to make the turn right there. That's PPC. CI, I'm going to zoom out real quick here. See, this is part of a much larger cup with handle pattern, still working on the handle here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. 269.97, the standard pivot there. You're holding that 1020 cloud, so look for that to make the turn here. Reclaim. This is where it tried to go and then came back in on general market weakness. So look for the reclaim there of 269.97. Again, as part of this larger cup with handle. Some other names in the group looking good. Anthem, ANTM. Keep an eye on Humana. So group as a whole may be ready to make a move. Oil and gas. Lots of oil and gas names. I'll go through a few of them. BP. Holding this ascending trend line. Now you've got 32.06, little cheap pivot there. Push through there, maybe give you a run back towards that prior high, 34.16. Just kind of setting up here, volume ease. So if oil and gas energy are strong, see if that can push through. Pivot, again, that's BP. ConocoPhillips, COP. This one's setting up more of a cup with handle pattern, 108.30 up high, 10, 20, 50, 65 cloud tight just below. So that just needs to push up and through. I'd like to see volume pick up there as it pushes through. PBA, Another one, you've got quite a few that look like this, where you've got a little triangle pattern or flag and descending trend line here. Just want to see if it can push through that trend line, and if volume picks up, just be aware if you push through that trend line, you want to see it take out the high. What else we got? PARR, Par Pacific. This one, another one setting up cup with handle 1669, the pivot there, but may have a little opportunity to get in ahead of that as a cheat through that descending trend line. You come through that descending trend line on big volume, may get in ahead of 1669. Again, going to want to keep an eye on energy, XLE, see how the group is acting and what's crude itself doing, because they all tend to run together. This one a little different, CNQ, descending channel here, and just looking to see, does that push out of there and out of that channel to the upside, make the turn start coming up the right side. You're right into 1020, 50, 65 cloud right there. On the other hand, if energy's weak, this rolls over, may come back down to the lower end of that channel. Again, that CNQ, but I'm kind of leaning towards an upside breakout there, especially with so many of these looking the same. This one, EPD, another one just looking to see if it can push out and up and through that descending trend line. A lot of these have this type of flag pattern where it's come up, consolidated descending trend line into 1020 cloud or 50, 65 cloud, and just needs to push out. So again, that's EPD. Also, outside of oil and gas, tech, similar look to it. And I'm going to bring volume by price over a little bit closer for this one. We'll go to kind of where this most recent rally started. So inside day here, 40.93, Friday's high. You look for that to push up and over Friday's high of 40.93 and take out that descending trend line. Will put you back above volume shelf point of control. Maybe start climbing a little higher up the right side here. A couple pivots to be aware of here, 42.79, and then the high at 44.93. If inside day comes out to the upside and you can push through that descending trend line, maybe this starts to like I said, move up the right side. Again, that's Tech Resources, TECK. That's all I have into the week ahead. Hope you have a great trading week, and I will see you over on FinTwit.